Alright, in order to simplify this complex fraction, and by the way, this is called a complex fraction because this main fraction contains fractions in the numerator and denominator. So our first job is going to be to get rid of the fractions in the numerator and denominator. And so what we're going to do is to identify the least common denominator of our fractional terms. And so we're going to look at this 12 over p and 36 over p squared and identify the least common denominator. The LCD of these two terms is p squared. Once we've identified the least common denominator, what we're going to do is take this complex fraction and multiply the numerator and denominator by p squared, which is this least common denominator. When we multiply this numerator and denominator by p squared, it's important that we follow the law of distribution. So we're going to multiply both terms in the top and the bottom by p squared. And I'm now going to rewrite that. Alright, now I'm multiplying each term by this p squared. You're going to notice that in some cases I just wrote p squared, and in some cases I wrote p squared over 1. And I'm doing that because in some terms I don't have a fraction, so I use p squared. In some these terms, like 12 over p, it is a fraction, so I'm going to write it as p squared over 1 so I can do my fraction multiplication. Alright, so now to perform these multiplications, the first term here, p squared times 2, gives me 2p squared. This second set of multiplication, what I'm going to do is first reduce this by canceling a common factor of p between these two, and I get a p left in the denominator, so that'll give me 12p. And down here in the denominator, 1 times p squared is just p squared. And then the second multiplication here, I cancel my p squareds. And I'm just left with a 36 over 1, which will just leave as 36. So now we performed the first big effort, was just to get rid of the fractions in the numerator and denominator. And now we have that. Now we just need to simplify the remaining rational expression by factoring and canceling any common factors. In the numerator here, I'm going to factor out a 2p, leave me with a p plus 6. In the denominator, it's a difference of squares, and so this is going to end up being a p minus 6 and a p plus 6. Then I cancel my common factor of p plus 6, and my final answer is 2p over p minus 6.